back in Week 4. The Jaguars won a shootout in their first matchup against the Titans. Can Tennessee even the score? Find out next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
About ready to get us going. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. Here's Harris to return it. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. 1st down and more for Allen. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. So, in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Allen's throw is complete, and they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch them?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Throwing now is Allen. This pass Reynolds. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. Their opening drive alive.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. 1st and goal, and you know me, I'm a big advocate. If you're going to throw the ball, throw it early in the down and distance count.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
9th play now, this long opening drive. Can they cash it in on 3rd and goal? To the goal line, but it's incomplete. You can already start to hear this crowd. They're saying, go for it.
Yeah, have we ever been at a game where you've heard the crowd go, field goal, field goal?
No, I have not. That's a good point.
Yeah, they always want to go for it, and I think they've got the right idea right now. The way they've moved the ball in this drive, I wouldn't stop that momentum. Go get it.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. So here are the Jags now set to get their first drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and the rankings, they don't matter to him very much. I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number 1, including himself.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
Fields now to throw. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 32-yard line. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Back to throw. Fields. That's nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
On 2nd and a long way to go. Fields on the run. He'll let it go deep. Right sideline. So, Charles, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult. And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary. And I give these officials a lot of credit. Such a tough and demanding job. You and I both know that. Yeah, they make the right call way more often than they get it wrong.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining. Out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. Jerry Jeudy, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you can get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Here's Harris to return it. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we could walk away with a win.
Williams going to get it again on second down. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in week 4. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. On first down, Allen. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Dancing to his left. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. There he goes, right side. The 20. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for the Jacksonville score. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Bass on for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. Here's Harris to return it. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Tennessee offense making their way out onto the field as you take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year. Williams loses the football, and the Jags grab it. And a great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
And he'll find his way down right around the 12. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. A shotgun snap. Fields eluding the pressure right. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Justin Fields. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Tyler Bass now for the point after. And it's 21-3. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was all capped off by the Justin Fields touchdown run. He took it in himself. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Here's Harris to return it. And he returns this to the 22.
Here we go. Here we go. First and 10. Here we go. At their own 22-yard line.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more. Try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Allen going to throw. That swung out wide to Harris. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
Brandon, you know, this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big connection on that one. 37 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Well, these two teams, they met earlier in the year in Jacksonville with the Jags coming out on top. So a win here in Nashville would give them the season series. Forced out to his left. This will be caught. Judy. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 14. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a so you got a chance to really shatter that and have a
touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jaguars continue to pull away here in this 1st half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. No return there for Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back is...
Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Below Nichols. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
The Jaguars on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Fields. He finds his man, complete. That's McKinney. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds.
A 4-yard gain brings up 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
This Fournette territory here, and he's alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Here's Fournette. Yeah, he is marked down right about on top of that imaginary yellow line, but they say he's a bit short. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. With his 10th rushing touchdown on the year, his 14th overall. And the Jaguars are pouring it on. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more.
Titans 3. Tyler Bass set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. And here comes the Jags defense as they get back out there. And so far, their game plan, whatever it's been on this side of the football, working pretty well.
And I like where you went there, the game plan. You know that they spent all week watching tape, evaluating, putting together that game plan that they thought would be effective. But there's nothing like seeing it actually work on game day. What we're seeing here, wow, what a performance by them so far.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Allen now on first down. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now Allen. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. So the penalty rightfully declined. They'll keep the yardage on the completion.
Still some disagreement by the defense, though, because he thought that was just good, strong coverage, and the contact's going both ways, so why is there a flag? In the end, though, doesn't matter. Still a completed pass.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first one. This from 44 yards out now. Gonzalez's kick is good. And that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flipping over to the other side, the offense, they'll hope to cash it for 6 next trip. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. A final shot before the break. Fields. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a moment. But first, let's give everybody a look at what's coming up this weekend in the NFL. Good games galore in that Sunday lineup. We'll highlight the one going on in Atlanta. A big one for the Falcons as they'll take on the always tough Green Bay Packers. Good games in the late afternoon as well. One being out in Santa Clara, where it'll be the 49ers taking on the Houston Texans. And finally, Sunday Night Football. They've got a good one. All
right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add their lead before the other guys even see the football, That could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Play action. It's Fields. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Now here's Michael Dixon. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Play action. Now it's Allen. He'll find Metcalf. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
To the air, Allen. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
A gain of 6 there on first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Or maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I wonder if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. 7 yards the pick up there. 2nd down and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 31-yard line.
Now Allen going to look to run it. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play. So now 3rd down coming up. Back now here on EA Sports. 1 quarter remains here on this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Allen from the gun on 3rd down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 19-point game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Running out of the gun here, Breida. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Let's go!
Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to...
Touchdown! A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Jaguars are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Here's Bass now for the extra point. And that will bump the lead up to 26. So that drive, 4 plays. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Here's Harris to return it. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Only needing 2 yards on second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short.
And the ball is knocked out. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing is ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Jabril Cox there on the tackle. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On the counter now, it's Dobbins. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. A play fake, now Fields to throw. They'll roll him out right. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Mecole Hardman, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turn.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
So the Jags will keep the offense out there as they'll decide to go for 2.
And they'll try to run it in with Dobbins.
And he pushes forward, but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you just say, well, my kicker's hurting this spot. No, okay.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory. but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Now Allen. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. So no gain on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. Now Allen again. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
Now Allen to try again after the pick 6. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
At the 30-yard line.
Here's Allen to throw it.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by Sidney Jones. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want to.
And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. Hey, I'm coming.
Allen will try again on second down. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review of this.
Come on now, let's go.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. Throwing on first down is Allen. They'll find Everett there, complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And meanwhile, Allen's throw taken in here by Patrick. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
He'll get this one to Patrick. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play that time for the Titans.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Jags, they're a win away now from running the table here in the regular season. They move to 16-0 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they fall to 2-14 now on the year. And they will look to turn it around next time out.